Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome to the Fantasy Football Prodigy channel. In this video, I'm going to give you some news about Eagles running back Miles Sanders, as well as a player that you need to pick up immediately as a result of that news. But before we get into that, guys, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We're just going to be dropping some more fantasy football videos, some fun stuff, some informative stuff. So make sure you stay tuned for more videos to come. And with that being said, let's get into the news. So Eagles starting running back Miles Sanders is out with a hamstring injury week 1 at the Washington football team. He is not traveling with the team. He's done. He is not playing. So what that means is that backup Eagles running back Boston Scott gets elevated to an RB2 in that week 1 matchup against the Washington football team. So I was looking at some rankings and stuff, and the only guys that I would have ranked for sure ahead of Boston Scott, you got CMC, Zeke, Dalvin Cook, Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs, Derrick Henry, Alvin Kamara, Austin Eckler, Joe Mixon, right? That's 9 guys right there that are for sure ranked ahead of Boston Scott. And then you have David Johnson and CEH, who already played on Thursday. They were projected to do well, and they both did well. So we'll give them the 10th and 11th spot. So then you get into the next guys. You got Aaron Jones at Minnesota, James Conner at the New York Giants, Chris Carson at the Atlanta Falcons, Kenyon Drake at the San Francisco 49ers, Todd Gurley versus Seattle, and then Nick Chubb at the Baltimore Ravens. So if you add those guys to that list, that would be 17 running backs. And in my opinion, all 17 of those guys you should probably start ahead of Boston Scott. Obviously, like Aaron Jones, he's prone to have bust games, and Minnesota, Skull Vikings, they tend to have a good run defense every year. So I would not be surprised if Boston Scott outperformed Aaron Jones, but I'm not going to sit here and say to start him ahead of Aaron Jones. You know what I'm saying? Just because Aaron Jones, he can blow up. He could have that 4-touchdown game. Hopefully not, because I'm a Vikings fan, but you never know. James Conner at New York, I would start over Boston Scott. And then like Carson at Atlanta, same type of thing. Kenyon Drake at San Francisco, same thing. Todd Gurley versus Seattle. Again, you should probably start Gurley, but would I be surprised if Boston Scott outscored Gurley? No, I wouldn't. And then you have Nick Chubb at Baltimore. That's a tough matchup, but Nick Chubb should get plenty of work. He's one of the best running backs in the league. So that's why I say that where things get a little more interesting is when you look at RB18, you look, what would it be? 18, 19, 20, 21. Yeah, so like RB18 through 24-ish, that's kind of where I would slide him in. You have Mark Ingram versus Cleveland. You got Melvin Gordon versus Tennessee, Lev Bell at Buffalo, Mostert versus Arizona, Jonathan Taylor at Jacksonville, Devin Singletary versus the Jets. Those type of guys, that's where I think Boston Scott could slide in, especially in PPR, because Boston Scott is a very capable pass catcher. We'll go ahead over here. I meant to switch the screen to Boston Scott, but here's Boston Scott on the screen. He is the Eagles' backup running back, and he was already projected to have some sort of role in this offense before the injury. So now that Miles Sanders is out, he should be getting a full workload, and it's against the Washington football team, who notoriously are not that great on defense, right? So I project him to get a decent amount of carries and hopefully get a few catches as well. Again, I would put him in the range with like Mark Ingram versus Cleveland, Mostert versus Arizona, Melvin Gordon versus Tennessee, Bell at Buffalo, Jonathan Taylor or Marlon Mack at Jacksonville, Singletary versus the Jets. I would definitely start him over Singletary. I would start him over Jonathan Taylor if you think that Marlon Mack is going to get the majority of the workload. It's hard to say. Melvin Gordon, that's a tough matchup. So that's where you're starting to, that's where things get a little bit murky. Yeah, so if you do not have Boston Scott and he's on your waiver wire, put in a bid, or if it's open waivers, close the video right now. Actually, drop a like on the video, then close the video and go pick him up immediately ASAP, because not only is he going to be good this week, guys, but like I said, Miles Sanders is out with a hamstring injury, and hamstring injuries are notorious for being, not going away. They're nagging injuries. A lot of times people try to fight through them, and they just keep coming back all season. That's actually why the Eagles are holding Miles Sanders out, is because they don't want it to get any worse. That's what I read. So hopefully that'll clear things up for Miles Sanders, because I do have him in my Dynasty League. But you never know. He could miss extended time with that injury. And then that would make Boston Scott one of those guys that went undrafted or late in the draft that would pretty much be not a league winner, but he would help you a lot early in the season. And this is my dynasty team right here. It's looking pretty good still, but I was starting Miles Sanders. Oh, who's that? Oh, I already started CEH. Yeah, have you heard of him? He's pretty good. Anyways, moving on. I was starting Miles Sanders in my flex spot. Well, technically he was my RB spot. James Conner was in the flex, I believe. With this injury, I had to move James Conner to the running back spot. Luckily, I had Marvin Jones on my bench, who, especially with Kenny Golladay out in that game versus Chicago, should be a good start. So I am still looking pretty good. I'm hoping that Miles Sanders does make a return sooner rather than later. I'm hoping this injury is not an extended thing. And actually, in this league, I did try trading for Boston Scott in the offseason. I think I offered like a 3rd round pick for 2021. That apparently wasn't enough. I wish I would have offered maybe 2/3 for the next couple of years because I'm wishing I had him. Who's on my taxi squad? Oh, Debo. I got Debo on my taxi squad. Man, that must mean my team is really good. Oh, is he on IR? Yo, I didn't even realize that. You're finding out along with me, or I'm finding out with you guys. Debo Samuel was placed on injured reserve. Okay. I didn't know that. That's kind of why I left him on my taxi squad, because I'm like, he might miss time. Not in a rush to... I'll save the roster spot for someone else. But yeah, that's big news too. Not the main focus of this video, guys. So yeah, go pick up Boston Scott. Especially if you're a Miles Sanders owner, go pick him up. Or if you're a 0 RB team, you're going to be wanting Boston Scott. If he's available, try to get him. Obviously, like, I wouldn't say like bid all your fab on him or anything, because it's more than likely this could just be like a 1 week type of thing. Even if Sanders misses time, like, I don't expect him to miss like the whole season or anything. So be smart about it, but try to get this guy as much as you can. So yeah, guys, that is going to do it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and make sure to drop a like on this video as well. And then also make sure to pick up Boston Scott for week 1 at the Washington football team. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.